Okay.
I know. Hello, everybody, and good morning. It's a Wednesday, February 25th of 2026. And as I said, this week and next week, just these next 2 weeks, uh, I'll be doing a bonus of 2 episode review from Get Smart of season 4 so that we can finish out the season properly. And then we will take at least a week or so off from doing it so we can have some time off for ourselves. And then I'll come back and I'll start doing season 5, and we're going to try to finish season 5. And then I told Seth and Sabrina, and I wanted to have Seth and a few people from Hilljack Happy Hour to join me as we talk about the 3 Get Smart related movies that came out later on: the Nude Bomb in '80, the in 1980, the Get Smart Again TV movie in 1989, and then finally the reboot of Get Smart, which has only done the one movie. There's no sequels or anything. It was that were in the planned works, but that's the one that features Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway is 99 and Carell is 86, and then you know, so we got that. Hello there, Jim. Welcome, Jim. I'm glad you followed me right from Hilljack there. Thank you for being there tonight for us, and also Brother Matt for being there for us as well. Appreciate you guys being there. I wanted to give you a shout out before we shut down operations over there at Seth's channel. I had to pee and stretch the kinks out of my back. Yeah, I know, man, and I know you're still suffering from your dislocated shoulder, so hopefully you get well soon with that. I hope you do, brother. I have not heard from Larry, so I don't know what's happening with Larry. Please, it's probably not a good thing to ask me right now because I really don't know. I have no idea what's going on with him right now. We're also worried about someone that's disappeared from our Hilljack panel. His first name is Rex, and we haven't heard from Rex in a few months. So, yeah, we're worried about him too. Hey, Sir Lemon. Welcome, Sir Lemon, brother. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Hey, good to see you, my brother. And hello, Lemon Pie from Jim. And hey, Jim from Lemon. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to try to go pretty quickly. Try to get this third one taken care of, and then I'm going to rest up a lot because, Friday, Suzanne and I are planning to go out, and have our 1 month, you know, uh, time to ourselves, go out and have some fun. Do you know the temperature is going to be 40 degrees as the high for this coming Friday? That's balmy for us, especially in the winter time. That is insane. 40 degrees. But then by Sunday, get this, Jim, get this, by Sunday, and Lemon, it is going to be, the high is only 21 degrees Fahrenheit, but the low is going to be 6. So it's going to be very, very cold, even for us this high up here in the building. So, yeah, we're going to have to. I think Suzanne said on Thursday she's going to go find us some extra blankets, maybe a pair of extra oversized sweaters. I think she said there's a clothing fair sale, which is for free oversized clothing that's being offered, and I think she's going to go and get that for us on Thursday. So that'll be cool. Now that'll be fun. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we're looking at, like I said, 2 episodes which premiered both on Saturdays. One premiered on February 8th, 1969, and the other one the following week on February 15th. So a day just after Valentine's Day in 69. And one is called Absorb the Greek, and then the other episode is called To Sire with Love, Part 1. And there's a Part 2 that follows it. And I believe that's the one that the 2-part episode that features the great and late James Caan, who did, he was in a series called Vegas with one of my favorite TV actresses, Cheryl Ladd, And he was also in Misery with, Kathy Bates, that great Stephen King film based on the book. I'm your number one fan. Yeah, that'll freak me out if I ever hear that from some woman telling me that. I'm your number one fan. Except for my beautiful wife, of course. Anyway, okay, so looking at the first episode here, when the chief takes up with a young woman, Max follows him and finds out that she is the wife of a scientist, and the chief is memorizing her husband's formulas. Oh, wow. Okay. That got a 7.8 out of 10 from 168 people. So, yeah, rise that to a B. And then on the To Sire with Love Part 1, the King of Corona, Max's double, is in Washington staying with the Smarts. And even his wife, 99, can't tell them apart. And that got a straight 8 out of 10 from 178 people. So, yep, a straight B. So, two B grade episodes from the series there in season 4. Okay. And this first one, Absorb the Greek, the director was Richard Benedict, and the writers were, of course, Arnie Sultan, Chris Hayward. Features the usual trio of Don Adams, Barbara Field, and Edward Platt. And let's see. Yeah, I think this time we'll go ahead and take a look at Jane Dulo, who plays 99's mom, and then we're going to look at Jack DeLeon, who plays Stroheim, as the one actor or actress that I picked out from this episode. Okay. All right, and in trivia, Stroheim and Preminger are playing an early version of the board game Risk. However, they are playing it like it's some kind of variation of the game Monopoly. What's more is that when they show the game board, the Risk logo is covered up by a cartoon drawing of an animal. The title is a take on the play or the movie called Zorba the Greek, and the characters of Stroheim and Preminger are named after the Oscar-winning directors Erich von Stroheim and Otto Preminger. That makes sense. Okay. All right, and there's no soundtrack, so... And it does say, of course, all the interiors were again filmed at Paramount Studios there in Hollywood. And now we'll take a look at cast and crew. Okay. All right, so Jane Dulo, who plays, as I said, plays Ancient 99's mom in after they got married, 86 and 99. Jane was born October 13th, 1917 in Baltimore, Maryland. She was a comedy character actress playing housewives, spinsters, and tourists in numerous television series ranging from Sergeant Bilko to The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And she was 99's mother in the 4th season, all of Get Smart, but is best remembered for her role in McHale's Navy as the man-hungry Navy nurse Molly. She was born October 13th, 1917, and she died May 22nd, 1994, at the age of 76. So rest in peace. And she did appear in 1973 in the Charlton Heston sci-fi classic Soylent Green as Mrs. Santini. Soylent Green are people! And according to Get Smart, she did appear, like I said, for a total of 4 times. And we've covered 3 of those times. Season 4, episode 2, which was called Snoopy Smart versus the Red Baron in 68. With Love and Twitches, which was episode 9 of season 4 in 68. And then in 1969, the one we're talking about here, Absorb the Greek. And then in season 5, she'll come back one last time in episode 8, which is called And Baby Makes 4, which is part 2. And that's where both 86 and 99 have the kids. And she's there as grandma. So, okay. And in 1956 to 57, for 21 episodes, she appeared in a series called Hey Jeannie, where she played the role of Liz Murray. And then in the movie that featured Bette Midler, Beaches, she played in that movie a role called Hillary's Neighbor, and that was in 1988. And the last appearance she made in TV or film, according to IMDb, is The Golden Girls, where she played the role of Myrtle. That was in 1992 in one episode, and it came from season 7, episode 19, called Journey to the Center of Attention. And that was her last anything. So, Jane Dulo, rest in peace. Okay. Now we'll look at one of the actors that played Stroheim or Preminger, and Jack DeLeon is the one that played Stroheim. And you know what? We'll go ahead and do Preminger too. So Joseph Mill, we'll just take a look at him too briefly. All right, so Jack DeLeon, he died. He did pass away in 2006. He was an actor as well as additional crew he worked on and soundtracks. He was born in New York City. He was an actor December 19th, 1924 in New York City. He was known for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, that awesome final movie of the trilogy of The Man with No Name, which featured Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef and Eli Wallach. And then he also appeared in Temptress in 1995, and he appeared in a movie called Allison is Watching in 1997. He did pass away on October 16th, 2006 in LA, there in California, and he was 81 years of age. And on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in 66, he worked on additional crew for that movie. In Temptress, he appeared as a character named Brian Carlin in 95. In Allison is Watching in 97, his appearance was a guy named Mr. Mary. And in Fantastic Four, the TV series, he actually voiced the Human Torch, Johnny Storm, the Mole Men from 67 to 68. He did 20 episodes of that early Fantastic Four TV animated series. And it does say the last thing he worked on was Allison is Watching in 97. So rest in peace there, Jack DeLeon. And then let's see here. Then we'll look at Joseph Mill. Joseph Mill, we did lose in 1977 as an actor. He was born June 23rd, 1915 in Chicago, Illinois. He was an actor known for I Was a Teenage Werewolf in 1957. Lord Love a Duck, which featured the great Roddy McDowall in 1966. He also is the Book of Acts series in 57 and City of Fear in 1959. He did pass away on August 31st, 1977 in LA. He was only 62 years old. And in I Was a Teenage Werewolf in 57, he played the role of Dr. Hugo Wagner. In 57, in the Books of Acts series, he played Herod Agrippa from the Bible. City of Fear in 59, he was Eddie Crown. And in Lord Love a Duck, as I said, that featured the great Roddy McDowall, who later would do Planet of the Apes, among other things. And, of course, he was the bookworm in the Batman TV series. Yeah, stop that. And he, in that movie, Lord Love a Duck, he was Dr. Milton Lipman as Joe Mill. So, cool. And let's see here. The last thing he worked on in 1977, he worked on 5 different units of some kind of movie short called The People on Market Street. And he worked on Unit 1, Scarcity and Planning, Unit 3, Demand, Unit 4, Supply, and then Unit 6, Wages and Production, and finally Unit 7, Property Rights and Pollution. So that was a book of shorts that he did for educational purposes. That was the last thing he worked on. So that was Joseph Mill. Rest in peace. Okay. All right, and now we'll look at the first of 2 parts, and we'll go over the second part of this episode next Monday. And so it's called To Sire with Love, Part 1. And this was directed by Gary Nelson, written by Arne Sultan and Chris Hayward. And of course, let's see here. Yep, it features the great James Caan, so we'll take a look at him real quick. And we'll look at, let's see, John Doucette. Yeah, we'll look at John Doucette. So, and then on part 2, we'll take a look at Keith Hefner, and we'll look at Alan Kent, who plays the delivery man. So we'll go to the bottom 2 here in Doucette and Caan. So, and he was uncredited, by the way. And the reason that James Caan, as Rupert of Rathskeller, did that is because he didn't want to take away from Don Adams and the rest of the cast. Because if you say James Caan's in it, he's going to be recognized, and then he's, but not only recognized, but he'll get the fame. He'll get more of the attention in the episodes rather than Don Knotts. Or, Don Adams, not Don Knotts. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. And then Colonel von Klaus was played by John Doucette. So, yeah, we'll take a look at those 2 gentlemen. And then, like I said, next Monday, we'll take a look at the other 2 gentlemen. And then, of course, just to mention that Larrabee came back, Robert Carvelis, in this 2-part episode. Okay. All right. And before I get to that, let's see here. We've got, again, I just want to recap. Commodore Productions Jim came in and said hello. And he said he had to pee and stretch the Keats out of my back. Sir Lemon came in to wave, say hello. Jim said hello to Lemon Pie. Lemon says, hey, Jim. Lemon says, that's too cold. Yeah, we're getting really cold up here, man. And then Brother Jim says, going back to bed. Night, everyone. All right, good night, Jim. Thank you so much, my brother, for coming to Hilljack Happy Hour. I appreciate, again, you and Matt being there to represent our ChattyBloggerMS channel. And that was wonderful. I appreciate you guys both being there. And Sir Lemon for being here for this morning. Yeah. So we do appreciate that. We really do, to help us out. Okay, so To Sire with Love, Part 1. Okay. All right, James Caan appeared as a favor to his friend Don Adams, but he refused credit, so the credits read Rupert of Rathskeller as himself. Maxwell Smart's special agent identification card is number 39734 and is signed by Thaddeus, Chief of Control. So that's a trivia question. 60s cultural references include Max saying that he looks like Dickie Smothers when he wears a mustache, and that the Chief looks like Tiny Tim when he wears a curly black wig. When Rupert tells Max intends to kill him by dipping him in molten bronze, Max asks if he couldn't just do his baby shoes. He made the same request of Bronze Finger before being bronzed in a season 2 episode. And of course, this title is based on the movie To Sir with Love, which came out in 1967 and had a great theme song too. Okay. All right. And as I did mention previously, but I'll kind of repeat myself. I usually do. But like I said, I don't do the goofs anymore on any series or any shows, and I don't do quotes anymore. So I just like to check it if it has like crazy credits. Like I said, I always check on trivia. If there's more than too many trivia bits, I try to limit it down to like the top 5 of what the shows are about or the movies. And as I said, I also try to check, like I said, not only on crazy credits and soundtracks, but I also try to check on filming and production. As I said, most of the time, the interiors of these episodes are filmed right there at Paramount Studios. So the home of Star Trek eventually. All the Star Trek episodes and different things. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here at John Doucette. All right, unfortunately, we did lose John back in 1994. He worked as an actor, but also in soundtrack. Stocky, balding American character actor with a rich, deep voice, equally adept at Western bad guys and Shakespeare. He began his career in films and minor roles, primarily as gangland henchman, and progressed to become widely familiar as a figure in a variety of dramas and occasional comedies. Although a stalwart and reliable supporting player, he was not of a type to essay leading roles in films, but remained a well-respected actor whose face, if not name, is familiar to a generation of film and television fans. He did appear in a movie called Fighting Mad back in 1976 as one of the first things he did. He was born January 21st, 1921, and it says he passed away August 16th, 1994, at the age of 73. Okay, and in a couple things he's known for as well, True Grit. He was the sheriff in that movie in 1969, which of course featured the late Robert Duvall along with the late John Wayne saying, "I'm going to come get you, you son of a bitch." And then Cleopatra, he appeared in that as Achilles, and that was in 1963 with, of course, the wonderful Liz Taylor. And then in Patton, which featured George C. Scott in the title role of George W. Patton, he played Major General Lucian K. Truscott in 1970. And then he came back, he was back way back on the time machine in 1953. He was in the movie Julius Caesar, one of those big blockbuster, big size movies. He played Carpenter, citizen of Rome, in that one. And according to the background information on IMDb, the last thing that John appeared in was Janelle's Man in a movie called Off the Mark, which came out in 1987. And that was his final appearance. So John Doucette. And rest in peace. Okay. And so our last check here before we head out, and like I said, we have the our celebration 16 years on March 1st. So there will be no MOPS project for either this coming Sunday or the following Sunday on March 8th. But on March 15th, we're hoping to have a special appearance by both Crazy Horse and Alice, his wife, to do talk about music, the music of Cats, the musical, which also was a Broadway play. So it was both. And I know it recently did appear as a movie. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about in 2 weeks from this coming Sunday. Okay. And so James Caan. And James Caan, of course, unfortunately, we did lose him back in 2022, only about 4 years ago. Not only was he an actor, but he also did his own stunts, and he was a director as well. And he was nominated for one Oscar, which is from 1973. He was nominated for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for the original Godfather. So there's that. Okay, so a masculine and enigmatic actor whose life and movie career have had more ups and downs than the average roller coaster, and whose selection of roles has arguably derailed him from achieving true superstar status. James Caan is New York born and bred. He was born in the Bronx to Sophie Falkenstein and Arthur Kahn. They were Jewish immigrants from Germany. He was born March 26, 1940, there in New York City, in the Bronx, and he died July 6, 2022, in Hollywood at age 82. And if you look in IMDb under James Caan, you'll see a perspective that they did on him from his years of life. And it's called the James Caan Career Perspective. So if you ever get a chance, check it out. Remember, he was best known for his roles in The Godfather, Misery, as I mentioned, with Kathy Bates, and Thief. In Thief, he played Frank. That was back in 1981. He was also in that funny comedy sport movie called Rollerball as Jonathan E. in 1975. He was Paul Sheldon, the author who was kidnapped by Kathy Bates' #1 fan Paul Sheldon's number one fan is what Kathy Bates played. And remember, Kathy Bates got an Academy Award for that, for Best Actress. That came out in 1990, based off a Stephen King novel. And then in 1972, in The Godfather, he played Sonny. And I believe he came back on Godfather 3 for that, too. And possibly Book 2, if I remember. Okay. So, yeah, James Caan. And it said here that before he passed, he was working on a film called Dark Harvest as Sheriff Doyle. And it said it was filming, so he died while it was filming. That was going to be his last appearance. And I don't know if they've released it now or if they just postponed it. It just said it was upcoming, and well, we all know that can't be possible since he passed. Let's see. But there is a posthumous appearance he made in Fast Charlie as Stan Mullen before he gone, which came out in 2023. And before that, there was a movie called Queen Bees. That gives me a dread. Where he played a role of Dan Simpson in 2021. So that was that. Okay. So that is the mini bio of James Caan. Like I said, you can always check him on IMDb for his perspective. Okay. Alrighty, so next Monday, as I said, we'll look at let me cross this out so I don't forget. Okay. So next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll finish off season 4. Like I said, then we'll take a break for about a week or so. Before we start with season 5. Okay, so next Monday, we're looking at To Sire with Love Part 2. And we're also looking at Shock It To Me. That'll be Monday. Then episodes 23 and 24. Might as well go ahead and read them out to you folks so you're aware. Leadside is going to be on the 23rd. And on the 24th is an episode called Greer Window. And then finally on that Wednesday, there will be a 2-part episode, The Not So Great Escape Part 1 and The Not So Great Escape Part 2. There you go. So that's going to be all 6 episodes next week on this same ChattyBloggerMS channel. So with me and Suzanne. Okay. Alrighty, so I want to, before we head out, I do want to, because I'm going to try to hit the hay myself here, but I got to go over some videos before I do. But I do want to say thank you to Jim again, thank you to Jim and Matt for appearing over there at Heeljack Happy Hour earlier with Steph and Sabrina. I do want to appreciate Jim coming back here to appear for a few moments before he had to go to bed. Please feel better, Jim, with your shoulder. And I do appreciate our wonderful brother, Sir Lemon Pie Citrus here for being here and taking watch over of the chat. So thank you, Lemon. And yeah, Lemon, I was over there at Gorilla's Random Thoughts with Trump Card's State of the Union address, which, was down to 4 letters of SOTU. Well, I didn't get much of a laugh, but I did say, well, you know what? You could turn it to STFU. And of course, you would know what that means, right? So, yeah, we don't have to say much more than that. And yeah, Teabag was there. Resolute Nothing was there. It's amazing that PvP wasn't there, so I guess that's fun. Sifdan was there, so that's good. And briefly, we saw, who his new name now is Sci-Fi Historian, so it's no longer Sif Dan, but I knew it was Dan. And a few other people that don't like me, or Suzanne, so. But Gorilla, I did thank him, and I did say thank you for allowing me up there, and take care. And then I went to do the Heeljack Happy Hour, and I was so happy with that. We did that for about 3 hours. That was fun, though. That was a lot of fun. Okay. Alrighty, so everybody take care. Uh, you know, as Suzanne says, leave everything in God's hands. As Larry says, my brother of 50 plus years, always be yourself. Remember, be respectful day by day of your surroundings and your partners and everybody you know in this life, because you never know. Life is never guaranteed. Um, I also want to say peace from me, Suzanne, Moonpie, and Deja Vu. And of course, as the great Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert at the Movies had always said, and now the aisle is closed. So I want to thank them again, the family and the foundation, for that. Okay, and quickly, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, we have prayers for Jim to recover, feel better, Matt Arnold to feel better, uh, to have our friend Jay from Michigania and his partner Nikki to get through their situation. For Larry to feel better, he and his family are in a bad way right now regarding a flu, and so we want to hope they get through their situation as well. So, with all that, we ask you and pray, Lord, on behalf of your Son Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, the Blessed Virgin Mary, and our patron saints, Saint Suzanne and Saint Michael the Archangel, defender of heaven, who sent the evil devil and all of his fallen angels to hell. We ask you for all of the pray for us at this time for everything. And please watch over me and Suzanne, our parents. They're doing okay, but not really well. So we want to make sure that all the family there are doing better as well over time. So with all that, we ask and pray. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay. All right. So everybody, take care of yourselves. Good to see you, Lemon. I'm glad you're still here. 3 likes. Thank you so much. I'll put in my 4th like there, and we'll have at least 4 for this short amount of time. And like I said, this week, keep an eye out for me on Saturday afternoon. I'll be a part of the Nostalgic Pod Blast. And yes, Jim, I know you went to bed, but I'll send you and Matt and Larry, um, the watch link there for that when we have that in place. And then, oh yeah, and then Wednesday night, I almost forgot. Wednesday is Triple B Ranch, where we have Chrissy and the gang, along with myself. Panel versus chat. We'll have the trivia show. That usually starts at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday morning, and Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time in Chrissy's time zone there in the West Coast. So make sure you check that out. And if you're still listening, Sir Lemon, hopefully you'll come and join us. And also remember to bring Kevin's Theme Park. He likes to play that as well. So if you're still here, remember that's coming up later tonight, or actually early Thursday morning. So yeah, at 12:30 a.m. Okay. And then, like I said, and then Nostalgic Pod Blast at 5:35 p.m. this coming Saturday with Chance Bartels, Al Hardy from Al's Place, and our uh, and then Chance's wonderful producer Natalie. And then on Sunday, ChattyBloggerMS will be celebrating officially our 16-year anniversary with a small panel, uh, and we'll try to choose a few people to join us to talk about when Suzanne and I, 16 years ago, first met online, and the rest is history. And I believe I'm going to start that at 4:30. Yeah, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. I haven't set it up yet, but as we get closer to the weekend, I'll set that up for this coming Sunday. And then, like I said, for 2 weeks we just won't have any mops, and for 1 week we just won't have any Get Smart. We're just gonna take a break here for a couple days. Okay, and hello, Brady. Hello, Brady from Stolen Spirits. There is Chance's Nostalgic Podblast channel link. Thank you, Brady. Thank you so much for coming in and chiming in and being here. I appreciate that, hun. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, we were just about to get ready to go. Didn't want to go on for too long tonight. I got some things to do before I go to bed. Okay, thank you, Brady. Yep, just came in. I see it's ending, but oh yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You didn't know. It's cool. Yeah, Chance is awesome. I agree with you. He's a great brother. I love the man. He's good. He's cool. And we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with the Pod Blast we do. I think this next one we're doing is on the Evil Mouse channel known as ABC TV. Yeah. But we're going to talk about better shows that appeared back in the days, like, the 70s when I was alive, the 70s, 80s and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at that. That's going to be fun. Yeah, so you said just came in. I see it's in yellow. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Brady. Yeah, he is awesome. I agree. Okay, so again, I want to thank Commodore Productions, Jim's Landscape, 001 LLC. Please make sure you go to his channel, check out his Star Trek fan films he has there, as well as some video shorts he has shot of his dogs and stuff. Don't forget that Sir Lemon is one of our managing mods, as well as Jim. So make sure you keep respect in the chat. And whenever you see Lemon, just say hello, Lemon. Just be kind and just wave to him and say, hey, how's it going? Our man from Texas. And then, of course, we also have Brady, who, by the way, Brady, I just made her a managing mod too to take care of our chat while Suzanne will be away next month, taking care of her knee. The first time, the first one that she'll get operated on. So we appreciate you, Brady, joining our extended family to help us out and to be here for us. So we do appreciate that as well. Okay. And don't forget, when you go to Brady's channel, please give your support and sympathy and prayers to all the missing persons that she has on the website there itself. And check that out, please. It helps a lot with prayers and if you can afford anything financially, that's good too. But prayers do help. So yeah, please say a lot of prayers for the missing and hope that they get home safe and sound back home. Oh, you're welcome, Brady. Thank you. I appreciate what you do. As I did say, you do provide a great service for those families that can't handle when one of their loved ones is missing. Yeah. So we appreciate what you do for that. All right, everyone, take care of yourselves. Remember, be safe out there. It's going to get wet. It's going to get wild. It's going to get snowy. Be careful on the roads out there when you travel, you go anywhere out there. And if it's too crazy, stay home. Don't go anywhere else. Just stay home. And remember, take care. And we'll see you next time on ChattyBloggerMS, which stands for Mikey Sue's. And of course, God bless you all. We'll see you then. We'll see you on this channel Sunday the first of March. Yeah, 1st of March. Okay, take care, everyone. We'll see you then.